Hey everyone, today I wanted to go ahead and do a get ready with me where I talk about my experience participating in a double-blind medical study. As usual, there's going to be timestamps down below, and I'll go ahead and put which products I use as well. I actually want to go ahead and replicate a makeup look that I saw on TikTok. I need a mirror. So I've actually run out of the foundation that I normally use, so I really hope that this, you know what, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. I just got the bottle that I normally use that I run out of. And hopefully this leftover will work. Off to a fantastic start. It's always so hard around my edges because any little bit of foundation that gets on my gray hair is just like so obvious. So every year I have an annual visit with my endocrinologist, and if you've watched any of my previous Hashimoto's or thyroid related videos, if you didn't know, I have Hashimoto's disease. If I'm remembering correctly, I was diagnosed in 2009 with hypothyroidism, and then 2011 was when I found a different doctor after I'd moved to Australia who told me that I actually have Hashimoto's disease, which is causing the hypothyroidism. If any of you have dealt with an autoimmune disease or chronic illnesses, you'll know that it is extremely hard to find a doctor who will listen to you and actually care about your entire wellness and not just treating the symptoms or only looking at your lab results. Like the amount of times I have seen, whether they're just normal doctors or endocrinologists, where they'll tell me like, oh, your levels are fine, so you're fine, even though it's like, no, I'm experiencing symptoms again. Can we please look at some other things? So when I moved back to the States from Australia, I actually ended up finding an endocrinologist who is like amazing, absolutely incredible. He was the one who was like, yes, go ahead with the autoimmune paleo protocol when I approached him about that, and that helped me tremendously as well. He's the one who found out that I was deficient in vitamin D, B12, and iron. So more than just giving me a pill. Are those even? I feel like there's not even. I feel like I'm always like tilting my head though, so it's kind of hard to tell. So at the very beginning of 2020, I had my annual checkup with him, and he let me know that there was a research department in that office, and they were looking for women with thyroid disease who were not planning on getting pregnant within the next year, and that I would get paid. He was like, I am absolutely not saying like encouraging you or trying to sway you anyway. I'm just letting you know because majority of the time in that research department, it was for people with diabetes, which I don't have. I really wanted to try contouring like with cream contour. What are the rules? Is it too late now that I have my foundation on? Can I do that? Maybe another day. When COVID kicked off, everything got shut down or locked down. I had my knee injury and I wasn't able to drive. Then they let me know that once things were like, you were able to come in by appointments and wearing masks kind of around, I think it was like August maybe. I have to double check, but it was whenever I was able to start driving again. They said, hey, are you still interested in doing the study? It's still going on. I was like, okay, cool. So basically the parameters were, and it was with a woman who was another doctor there who, she was really funny. She was always really interesting and entertaining to talk to. But basically it was a double-blind study. They didn't know what I was taking. I didn't know what I was taking. So the only thing we did know was that it was going to be the same dosage of what I typically take. But with this double-blind study, it was either going to be what I normally take or Armour Thyroid, because literally for the past decade I was always so keen on taking Armour Thyroid. I was like, it has to be better, it's not synthetic. Basically, if you're not aware, if you're taking the synthetic hormone, your thyroid is converting from T4 to T3, which is the active thyroid hormone. However, if you're taking the desiccated pig thyroid, which is Armour Thyroid, the theory is that your thyroid doesn't have to work on converting it from an inactive synthetic to an active hormone. So basically that was a theory they wanted to test. I would get paid every month that I went in, and every month they would perform an EKG and they would take my bloods. The first and the last appointment were like the longest because you had to wait in the office, wait for the results to come back, and then take your dose and then do the blood work again. Now, granted, it was double blind, but I was like, oh, if, you know, I'm getting free medicine, I'm going to get paid to either continue doing what I'm already doing or take something that might be better for me. So I was like, it's literally a win-win. Like there's no reason why I shouldn't participate in this study. I really thought it would only benefit me. There was no downside. So after a month or so, it became really obvious that whatever I was on was not what I normally was taking, and it was not for me. It seemed as if every negative symptom that I typically experience had come back. In relation to my weight, it was really hard for me to see that though, because I was still like in my leg brace. I was still like not fresh out of surgery, but it was within that first 6 months. I remember saying like, can you please confirm that everything's optimal? Because that was something that my doctor would do. He would make sure that my lab work and everything was optimal, not just normal, but optimal. But of course, because it's a study, they were just like, you're normal, there's nothing wrong, like whatever. Like it got so bad to the point where like my fatigue, my mood, everything was just so horrible. Like I had gained a lot of weight. I was constantly tired, constantly exhausted, like having really bad brain fog. So this continued into 2021, and it got to the point where I was like, look, I really want to leave the study. And they kept saying, well, you have every right to leave the study, but we really want you to stay on. And so they actually sent me my lab work, which was interesting because I think like during the study, it's supposed to be as blind as possible. So I don't think I was meant to be aware of what my lab results were. And sure enough, all my levels were not optimal like they typically were. Like my TSH was really high. And by the time I was like, look, I really want to pull out of the study, they were like, hey, you only have 1 more month left. And so I was like, fine. So if I remember correctly, this lady went in afterwards with a few different shades of purple. Right now, I just feel like I look super emo. It reminded me of my middle school Hot Topic goth phase. I would love to do one of those like dressing like I used to dress in high school. So the study ends and we end up taking my ending weight and all my ending results and whatever, EKG, blood work. And not trying to talk badly about the woman who is in charge, like she just works in the research department, of course. But she was like, oh, I can see that you gained quite a bit of weight during the study. And I was like, yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. And she goes, well, you know, you would be the perfect candidate to go on our next medical study that we're doing. It's a weight loss pill. It's going to hit the markets. It's going to be the best thing to be on the market. It's better than the other weight loss pills. It's not just an appetite suppressant. It actually helps you lose weight. So do you want to go ahead and participate in that? I can email you as soon as the study's taken off. I was like, no, please. No, I do not want to take your experimental weight loss drug. I feel like the timing was kind of perfect though. I'm not trying to be like conspiracy theory, but by the way, if you guys enjoy colorful makeup tutorials, you should definitely check out Fit and Curvy. I'll link her below. She is really talented with like really colorful makeup. I'm a bit of a weenie when it comes to colorful makeup. Oh, that scares me. I think that's enough like smoking it out. Very purple. Ah! Okay. So it was not enough. We connect it to the upper corner here. What? Is that going this way and this is going out? In the video, she did like an inner wing that was more like a cat wing, cat eye. I don't know how to do that.
Love you too.
What do you think of my makeup so far?
It looks beautiful.
Really? Do you remember when I was on the medical study, like...
You were really irritable. You weren't able to really hold a conversation at all. As far as like beyond the beginning stages of the conversation.
I wasn't able to hold a conversation.
Beyond, like you were comprehensible. You weren't completely committed to the conversation. Like
Yeah, I kind of remember that. There's a lot of brain fog. So that was just my husband recounting a little bit of what he remembers from whenever I was on that experimental medication. So basically the main thing that now that he says that I do remember, I was really struggling to like hold a conversation or be in a conversation. So I think I'm going to stop messing with the eyeliner and go in with some purple mascara that I always wish I used more. Oh my God, I feel ridiculous in these. So there's a couple things here that I can do. Nude lipstick. It's like kind of plum. I don't know if that really matches the purple, or black with hints of purple. Maybe I should let's just do it. Like, let's do it. It's kind of hard to see, but there's like purple in this. Oh my God, it's on my finger. I think the key is just confident lines. There's the lipstick. I think I cleaned it up as best as I could, but you can see there's like a purple sheen to it. But yeah, so that's pretty much the story of what happened in the past year or so regarding my thyroid health, whether I was on the traditional or typical Armour thyroid or not, or some completely experimental drug. I'm just really glad that it is over and I am back on my normal thyroid medicine. I don't know that I would participate in another medical study, just because even though I was getting paid, I don't know in retrospect that it was actually like enough when I really think about how like over so many months I was affected so much. And I'm sure that there were people who were like, oh, I'm great, I'm fine, or nothing changed. So I just don't know if after that experience I would do that again, and especially not for like a weight loss drug. Also, I just walked into the Natural Light and I think I might go ahead and get rid of this black lipstick. I will say, seeing this, I am very excited for Halloween suddenly. Whenever I was in middle school and high school, I actually went through a goth phase, and I remember in 8th grade, I left my glasses in the orchestra room. I used to play the viola, and I remember asking my teacher, can I please go back and get my glasses? And she was like, yeah, as soon as you wipe that black lipstick off your face. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. At the time, I probably looked like an idiot, so whatever. But now... Alright guys, that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions down below. And I'd love to know, would you ever participate in a medical double-blind experiment? Or if you already have, how did it go? Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Bye!